Hello everybody and welcome to Amphlett Reviews, back with another Hong Kong review. Today we're for Johnnie To's Mad Detective. This is a long way review I've been putting off for a little bit now, and I finally want to talk about it and I want to discuss it. From a spoiler-free perspective, I won't be talking about any major spoilers in this film in case people haven't watched it, and I want people to go and watch it. So let's talk about the crazy mad world of the Mad Detective, Johnnie To's Mad Detective. The Mad Detective was released in 2007. It's directed by Johnnie To and Wai Kai-fi, co-directed together. Johnnie To, of course, is a very famous Hong Kong director, someone who's really kind of blown his way onto kind of Hong Kong cinema, someone that I'm just scratching the surface of kind of his work at the moment, with a massive, extensive amount of library of movies from very early 2000s all the way to kind of still making movies now. It's absolutely crazy to kind of follow up on his movies. And the amount of films I've released on kind of various kind of home media in terms of kind of DVD, kind of Blu-ray, some are just getting kind of brand new releases now, like the PTU, the Police Tactical Unit, which is getting a brand new kind of UK release on Blu-ray. Great to kind of throw myself into that kind of director and kind of see what he has to offer. And he's presenting these fantastically, visually, beautifully crafted movies. You know, heavy character study, big kind of topics, big themes, big ideas kind of thing around characters and scenarios and kind of, things going on during the time of kind of the time frame, which is very rich and very interesting. Kind of like a John Woo kind of thing without kind of the action as much, more character based, more kind of drama based, but also delivering on some pretty intense moments and some pretty fascinating kind of camera work and very engaging kind of, world he kind of creates for his kind of movies. And Mad Detective is no different from that. The Mad Detective is a really fascinating, very interesting movie. I do not want to spoil what goes on too much in this film, so I'm going to be very selective with my words and kind of give you a brief idea what I think of the film in a sense. It's a film that I really cannot describe or compare it to many other movies. Now, if you think of a typical kind of movie where it's from like, Terminator, sci-fi movie, an action movie, you think, oh, describe this action film. Oh, it's Die Hard meets this kind of thing. The basic kind of description of a film in the sense. There's not many movies that I can describe that is like Mad Detective. Maybe there's one kind of thing, but that would ruin the entire film in that sense, I think, really. But there really isn't many I can really think of that really kind of justifies, oh, Mad Detective is like this kind of thing. It's a very unique, very heavily stylized character study based movie that is so unique, so interesting, and it still sticks on my mind. I watched it about like a month ago now, and I'm only getting around to reviewing it now because I'm actually really want to talk about it. I really want to share my excitement for this film and want you guys to go and watch it and find it wherever you can, whether it's on Blu-ray, DVD, streaming kind of thing, wherever you can get access to this film. Mad Detective follows, of course, a Mad Detective. The star of the film, basically, he is this kind of renowned kind of Hong Kong detective, someone who is solving crimes, whether it's burglaries, murders, kind of thing, all sorts of kind of interesting kind of cases in that sense. And randomly one day he kind of cuts off his ear and gives it to a kind of a victim of a crime kind of thing, and kind of walks off and it hasn't been seen in a couple of years since. In a sense, you got the kind of the rookie detective who was kind of following his work, who was kind of inspiring to be like him, recruits him later on at a kind of weird time within his kind of life in the sense to investigate this kind of very strange case of kind of two police officers. One has gone missing, one who's saying who is didn't know what happened in a sense. One is saying, oh, I'm innocent, I don't know what happened to my partner kind of thing, and he kind of thing is kind of being bliss about the whole situation. And his gun, his partner who has gone missing, his gun has shown up in a crime scene kind of thing, is being used within a murder, because then they know this because the serial number on that gun is was reported on the day, kind of is found on that kind of crime scene, and he has to kind of come in and wants to use his kind of talents in a sense, his skill sets, which are not quite normal in the sense. I would say maybe similar to kind of Sherlock Holmes, maybe, without giving too much away. But he has a very unique style, very unique kind of way of identifying kind of liars, to identify kind of people are not kind of honest, and kind of, he has a very specific way he sees the world, and it's a very unique kind of film. And the Mad Detective character is someone who is objectively brilliant in kind of his seduction and his kind of talents, how he goes about these kind of crime scenes and these investigations. And his methods are strange and weird, but he gets results and he can find ways to kind of find the truth and get to the kind of the bottom of everything. And the film goes along that way very interestingly. He's getting a little too close, and various kind of people kind of questioning his methods, and they're kind of questioning him. He's mad, he needs to be kind of locked up kind of thing. Some people don't want him around. You know, his methods are very strange. You kind of have the rookie detective who is desperate to kind of crack this case and kind of be, you know, someone like him in that sense. You've kind of got the ex-wife who plays a big part within the Mad Detective's kind of life. Various kind of smaller characters. The villain character, which is the kind of partner, who is someone who is being bliss and someone who doesn't want to reveal secrets of what actually happened on that night, kind of thing, with his partner. Part of this film is a heavy character-based study about, you know, people in general kind of thing, how we react, how we want to be seen, how we are internally kind of thing, you know, how we go about our kind of day to day and how we want to be. Do we want to be the kind of the macho kind of, you know, angry kind of person, or are we kind of, you know, deeply afraid and insecure inside kind of thing? And these kind of themes are explored heavily in these films. The Mad Detective is someone who is in a world of his kind of own making. He's someone who is just kind of cutting through all that kind of crap anymore. He kind of just sees people for what they are and how they go about their actions and speak louder than words in that sense. And you kind of really feel for the character and really feel for his kind of struggles and kind of his internal kind of battles, what's going on within him kind of thing. Unique, very strange kind of thriller with a bit of a twist to it kind of thing as well, which makes it very engaging. It's not a very particularly long film. I think it's about an hour and a half. It's 86 minutes long, so it does not mess around with its kind of running time. Every scene, every choice, every kind of camera angle, the cinematography, the look of the film is beautiful. Johnnie To, and this kind of co-director as well, does a fantastic job at creating this kind of world in a sense, and the kind of, you know, and highlighting his talents on screen so well, and the interactions and the performances are all fantastic. It's such an engaging, different type of thriller that I really wasn't expecting. This is something very unique, something very different. Whether you are a fan of Hong Kong cinema in general, or just like thrillers, interesting, different type of movies and thrillers kind of thing, this one is something for you for sure. Are we just repeating the same regurgitated kind of nonsense over and over? Is our perception on kind of the world so important, more so than crime and justice kind of thing? Are we willing to put someone else on the line? Are we willing to put someone's mental health on the line to kind of further our own career? Are we willing to kind of screw someone over to become a better version of myself? Are we someone who is the typical, I want what's mine kind of thing, I want what's owed to me in that sense, you know, and potentially have someone killed or at risk of being killed? All these ideas, all these kind of interesting kind of, you know, topics and themes, and all related within the kind of the story and within the investigation of the film, and which all leads to a very unconventional, very questionable ending, which kind of relates to the whole theme and the whole point of the entire film and what it's trying to say. And it's quite haunting. It's quite like, it's interesting for sure. It's a very, I love the way it's presented. I love the way they finish the film, and it kind of leaves you in a state of mind kind of thing. I really like that. It's a film that makes you want to think. It's a film that makes you want to discuss and revisit again on a second viewing for sure, and kind of pick up little things. Yeah, The Mad Detective is not your typical kind of, you know, Hong Kong movie. It's not your typical kind of thriller. It's a very unique kind of film. Johnnie To is fantastic at presenting these kind of ideas. The Blu-ray release also for The Mad Detective is very interesting as well. This is the second Masters of Cinema kind of series, number 2 on the list. This is one of the very, very first kind of Eureka kind of main Blu-ray releases. It's very out of print at the moment. It's very hard to find. So if you can find this in the UK or anywhere really for a good price, pick it up. It might cost you a little bit more than your typical kind of Blu-ray. I think I got this for about like 20 quid at the time. But definitely worth it, definitely worth checking out, and hopefully they might give a re-release. Hopefully that might be nice. Some really packed full of extras as well, which is great. This is a brand new kind of transfer, you know, 10TB transfer. It has got a Q&A with Johnnie To, which is great, 35 minutes. You've got exclusive interviews with the cast and crew. You've got the East Film Festival with a lot of the actors and directors kind of involved in the film, which is great. Interview with Johnnie To, an archival one, which is great. This is from France of March 2008. You've got the original UK trailer. You've got a 16 page booklet, which is quite nice, which gives you a little bit more information on the actual film, which is very interesting. It's a nice little extra kind of feature as well. It kind of dives into kind of the making of it and what was going on during the time of processing it. And of course you've got the Blu-ray and you've got the DVD as well, which is great. Nice little edition, definitely worth picking up if you can find it for a good price. Hopefully they might re-release this eventually down the line. So have you seen the film was? What did you think? What's your favourite Johnnie To film? I'm very curious to see your thoughts and opinions, guys. I will be doing more reviews on Johnnie To movies with Election 1 and 2, Breaking News, and a few others that I can get my access onto. So stay tuned, guys, for more Johnnie To goodness for sure. Until next time, guys, I'm Amphlett Reviews, signing out.